Tech Rabbit here. Yeah, it's a little bit of rant time. So a little bit about why I think Rust is just another programming language. So I'd like to take a little bit of a historical perspective on this and have a look at the current top 5 programming languages and yeah, comment on them. So Python is the first. So currently, so this is 2024, widely used in data science, AI, machine learning, web development, and automation. And these are the things that I've heard over my 20 plus years of working with this. So when Python was bowling around in the very beginning, it was comments like, "Never heard of it." I thought Python was only used by data scientists. You can't compile it, so it's useless. You could never use it. It'll never run on embedded hardware. So anyway, just as a little bit of a reflection, like guess which one of those comments is not valid today. This is how history. So anyway, moving on. JavaScript, dominant in web development, both front end and back end, and Node.js specifically. Can't use it. It hasn't got a strict type system. Really bad. It's going to be so many mistakes. You can't compile it. Utterly worthless, not for serious use. Nobody will ever write serious code with it. It'll never be used on the server side. It's just absolute IT security nightmare. Yeah, guess where it has one of its predominant use cases today. Moving on. Java. Popular with enterprise applications, Android development, and back-end systems. This was actually interesting because when Java exploded into the world, it's going to take over all fields of programming. There's going to be no need for any other programming language. Utterly wasted time spending anything else than just learn Java and then you're done for life. Not exactly the situation today. It's not that bad. It found its niche in those named areas and has survived, but it wasn't the overall knockout success it was supposed to be. C#, and this actually a little bit, it bleeds out into the other variants of .NET programming languages, VB.NET and etc. So this is commonly used for Windows application game development, Unity and .NET framework. The framework is .NET, so I don't know why I comment on that. I copied this descriptions from a website. .NET will never catch on. That's what I heard during my career. Why? We have native C++. Why should we have a runtime? Useless. Memory management needs it. It's like yeah. Moving on. C++. Used in system software development, game development, and performance critical applications. Comment. It will die. It's too complicated to use. We can fulfill most of all our programming needs with VB6. Anybody heard about VB6? Didn't think so. But at that point in time in history, they actually the C++ team because they were way too slow at delivering specifically UI-based application development. They were all sacked. Management decided we don't want this. You can create the same UI framework in hours with VB6. And it took them months when they were doing it in C++. So this is a programming language and infrastructure selected for the wrong project. And then coming back to these like odd statements, and this is what we're dealing with currently nowadays, is that we need only one programming language, and it is fill in the blanks in the blank. So you get those gut jerk reactions. And then the other one is life will be much better when we rewrite all our code in fill in the blanks in blank. And then initiatives that actually try that use countless man years and millions of dollars, and the system falls apart and doesn't work, and ultimately is scrapped. Go back to a multi-language solution. And then, based on of course, this is my subjective experience. It's not objectively supported as such, but there are some facts of a life as a programmer. Many programmers put bread on the table for a lifetime not working with any of the top 5 programming languages, and that is just a fact. Well, you can't sort of dump on the people that don't use. Oh, you're not using any of the top 5 programming languages. How do you still have a job? I've had a job for the last 20 years. Your answer. I mean, it's very unlikely that you're going to work on a system created only in one programming language or technical stack. Even taking into account that things do evolve. And then the other fact is that one more of the facts is there are languages being used daily in corporate universities and governments you probably have never heard of. Literally never heard. And then one of the most odd things is that there's always people going around and on the web and stuff and stating which languages are dead and not used anymore. And I really seriously doubt they really know what languages are dead and are not being used. I mean, languages stated long dead are still a mainstay for many. I mean, you can take like Fortran, COBOL, APL, Pascal, Motorola, Interlegacy, toolchains. There's not enough money and resources in this whole world to finance reprogramming everything from scratch to clean it all up. So even the new generation of programmers that come in have to be able to live with these toolchains and keep them going, maintaining them and upgrading them. And it's not only the programming languages and the tool chains to compile them. There's also all kinds of oddball source code management systems. So you don't actually only have like Git or TFS. There are everything from, and especially if you get into like hardcore legacy organizations like military or billion-dollar corporations, financial corporations. I mean, they could very much, absolutely unbelievable. They could be carrying source code around on floppy disks still, or managing it in in-house built source code management systems that are the last time they were ever updated was 30 plus years ago. So that's the reality. Anyway, so coming back to being a little bit more practical. So you know, the thing is that you have to flow with the flow. So I mean, basically, if you're a programmer in an organization, I mean, they look to you to solve a problem, and if you're a reasonable organization, then they actually give you certain angles of freedom. So I'd say that if a specific programming environment and or infrastructure tool chain, if it solves the problem you are tasked to do, at least look into it. And then if it integrates well into because usually you have as kind of a workflow or handoff system or build environment, test environment and stuff, it somehow integrates into that tool chain or work process flow, then consider using it. And even better if it actually shows that once you've gone through those phases that it integrates well into the software stack you are part of building, then you could push introducing it as a final step. So I would not as such exclude any programming language. So that's what I want to say as an end comment here. All programming languages are just another programming language. So that's just the way it is, and they will come and sometimes never go, and there will be, yeah. But I mean, the thing is, the world changes, and the reasons why different programming languages exist or take over a certain field, and lots of these things, they don't have anything to do with the best programming environment or the best way to program. There's many tools that come out of, they get born in academia and then they get pushed sold to corporates, and then corporates push them on their corporate programmers, and they don't like ask their programmers do they want to work with those tools or not. It's like with AI, it's pretty much Python. At least in the beginning. There's more available now. You had no choice if you wanted to deal with AI model generation, control and stuff. Then the only environment you had was Python. But anyway, I hope that helps to clarify the picture. That I shouldn't. There's no such thing as the ultimate programming languages, and there's never ever going to be a situation where there's going to be a full stack rewriting of everything that exists, because everything is. If you knew how many programmers existed in a certain corporate project 30 years and how many programmers exist today to do absolutely the same work, it's you can forget that there will ever be the resources to rewrite everything that's been written over the last 30 years. There's just no way. It'll never happen. And the owners of companies and organizations will never finance it. Anyway, hope this was informative. See you in the next one.